After getting Mikey from 0 to 100k a month, a lot of you guys kept yapping about how it's just luck. So obviously we had to prove that it's not, and this is what we did with this guy Kostify. So today's video is going to be me reacting to his video and basically covering all the behind the scenes stuff which actually happened while we worked with him.
I'm an average 16-year-old in high school, and I just made over $13,000 in profit from dropshipping within 1 month. I've never seen this kind of money before, so it feels wild to even just be talking about this. And this is exactly how I did it.
It's still so crazy to me how these fucking 16-year-olds are printing money on TikTok. It's interesting to see that a lot of way younger people have so much more success in organic than, for example, in ads. I've been in this whole space for a while now, and I never really saw these like 16 or 15-year-olds who actually crushed it on Facebook and were able to scale, because it's such a different game, and apparently it's more children friendly to do organic. But anyways, obviously the average student in our program is much older, and this is just like one example here.
So I first heard about dropshipping in late summer 2022, which is when I also started this channel to document and sponsor my journey. And I know it's been a minute since I posted my last video, but it's not because I gave up. I kept on doing dropshipping, but instead of doing TikTok organic like I used to, I fell for the shiny object syndrome and switched to doing ads. And if you watched any of my previous videos,
this is a classic, and this is what all of you guys do. You start doing the business not to succeed, but you just do it to do it. And this is exactly what's being done here. If you switch strategies over and over again, you didn't do the thing until it worked. If you're going into whatever it is, the mindset should be, okay, I start this just because I'm 100% sure that I'm gonna keep doing this until it works.
you probably know that I made 99% of money dropshipping from TikTok organic, which is when you order a product to your house and post TikToks with it.
Which is even more ridiculous. Like, you succeed in a thing, it kinda works for you, and then you just think, all right, this was not good enough, even though I made some money, I have a better opportunity over there in TikTok ads. And the problem is, everybody is so flashy with TikTok ads, and they show you these crazy dashboards for like 1, 2, 3 days, but in reality TikTok ads are so inconsistent. The only good thing about TikTok ads is if you do organic really well and then basically combine that with Spark ads and scale that way. But that's a completely different thing, and that's obviously not what he did at all.
Without having to run any ads. So after posting about 4,500 TikToks across all my products, I guess you could say I got decently good at it, but apparently that wasn't enough for me. And about 2 weeks later, after seeing way too many 5 ROAS TikTok ads dashboards and hearing about how passive making money from ads is for at least 20 times.
Yeah, exactly. This is what it is, but it's not passive at all, and this is what people show. Just get this thought out of your head overall. Passive income scam. Whoever sells you a passive income thing, most likely is not gonna work.
I stopped doing TikTok organic and instead decided to dedicate all my time to learning ads. Oh yeah, I was pretty damn serious about it. Over the span of the next 2.5 months, I tested so many products that even just listing the best ones would take too long. So instead I'll just say that I managed to pull off about 2K in revenue across all stores I ran, was at about a 1K loss all in all due to ad cost. What a surprise. Naturally, I was pretty disappointed since the reality didn't meet my expectations of making 10K a month while just churning campaigns out enough. So I fell into a rut and lost all motivation to work. If you're just starting out, then I have to warn you. Dropshipping is lonely, especially in the beginning when everyone around you, including your family and friends, don't understand why you're doing it and are telling you to give it up and try something more traditional, which also happened to me.
You know, the golden rule is always who is telling you the thing. And sometimes you should listen, in other cases you shouldn't. If somebody who reached all the goals you want to reach tells you, hey, this is a bad idea, listen. If your parents tell you and they're doing things which you don't want to do at all, don't listen. And the thing you have to keep in mind here, they don't mean it in a bad way. Don't take it personal if somebody tells you, hey, this thing is bad, it's probably not gonna work. Because they actually want the best for you. It's not that they don't want to see you succeed. It's usually that they think you're gonna succeed in another area if you don't do this, but something else. So don't be offended by this, but also just don't listen.
I wasn't making any progress for the past 2.5 months, so I started to lose interest in ads and get distracted by every business model out there. I was running TikTok ads, a TikTok shop, and even doing affiliate marketing all at the same time, and obviously none of it worked. I also started going out more often and spending most of my days at the skate park or just doing anything at all but work because it didn't excite me anymore. And looking back at it now, I think that the main reason I went off track is that I had no guidance or long-term plans. And if I were to go back in time and change that, I think that the way I would avoid losing motivation is finding a mentor that will keep me accountable and surrounding myself with like-minded people that are on the same journey. Thankfully though, right at the time when I started deliberating quitting, just like an angel coming from the sky, a big TikTok organic dropshipper with over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube reached out to me and said that his mentor is interested in helping me out.
I fucking lost a bet with Mikey. He reached 100k subscribers before me, so I owe him a Dubai trip.
And I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for him, I'd probably have given up like a month later. His mentor is Michael Bernstein. He taught Mikey himself and hundreds of other successful TikTok organic dropshippers that are all printing fat stacks right now. In fact, his success rate is so high that he only accepts people in which he sees the potential to not drag the rate down. And I was obviously flattered that I not only got accepted, but actually invited in by Michael himself, but...
Yeah, so I did invite him. I wasn't too sure what to think of him in the first couple of calls. We were very close to just stopping to work with him because he didn't listen. Like, we tell him something and this kid just does not listen. And it was the most annoying thing because those were very like fundamental things which we had to like re-explain over and over again. And I get the curiosity a lot of people bring to the table, and I understand that a lot of people just want to know why they have to do something, but it costs time. And sometimes you need to learn that you should just trust some people and not trust others. And if you believe, okay, they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, it's basically a big time waste on explaining every small little detail and why and what. And it was a huge back and forth every single time in all these calls where we just tell them, hey, do this. And he was like, no, but this is better. This is better. I heard from this guy, this is better. And then we had to explain him why it's not. It just took so much longer. There were a few moments where it was like, you know what, like, I don't think this guy is gonna actually listen to us, so it just doesn't make sense to ruin our reputation for this guy who's just not gonna fully do what we tell him. Because it doesn't work if you just listen to us a little bit and then do your own thing a little bit and then listen to another YouTube video a little bit. You cannot combine and mix strategies as you wish. You need to pick one and follow it until it works.
At the same time, I've never been in a mentorship before and I didn't want to let him down, so I wasn't sure whether I should join or not. But like I said before, I was completely lost at the time and I knew that this is probably my last chance at making it out. And I understood that if I don't do this now, I might regret it for the rest of my life. So I accepted the offer. Little did I know, I just voluntarily signed into the most stressful and intense amount of work I've ever had to do in my life.
He was so shocked on what we were expecting. It was like just this kid who's in school who basically doesn't have shit to do at all. He was working for like an hour a day and he thought he's like super productive, but he wasn't. So what we basically did was plan out his schedule properly. It was impossible for him to do it in the first couple of weeks. Like, he was literally not able to, because we were expecting that his free time is not his free time anymore, but it's his business is free time. And that time has to be well spent in product research and content creation and nothing else. And he just struggled with that for the first few weeks. Like, I have to say that he improved a lot. And at this point, he actually is productive, but it just took a lot of time.
Michael asked me to send him and his partner Jacob a list of 50 to 100 dropshipping products every week, which they'll then go through and tell me which ones to test.
Jacob is just so good at picking products. He sees everything.
It sounded exciting at first because picking products was always my main weakness, but it didn't feel as fun anymore when I realized that it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to find just one product for the list. And I needed 50 to 100 of them. To make matters worse, like I said before, I was barely doing any work for the past 2.5 months. So going from that to suddenly being forced to work for 6 to 8 hours every day was rough. I didn't feel like doing it, but neither did I feel like letting Michael down and wasting this opportunity, so I filled in the product list and showed it to them on our first call. And they selected only 3 products out of about 50 I filled in, which were a sewing stapler that allows you to sew on the go, a breathing otter that helps people with anxiety to fall asleep, and a cheese roller that
First, I take my mozzarella and carefully place it into the saw wheel.
If we select 3 products out of 50, that's not bad at all. This is pretty good, actually. If you just have a few products on there which actually were good, out of 50, this means you did a decent job.
So I ordered all 3 of them and started testing them as soon as I got them. I'm not gonna lie, I've never tested multiple products at a time before.
Which, by the way, should be the most normal thing ever.
But Jacob told me that I'm just being a lazy ass and I should do it in order to see the results faster. I couldn't argue with that, so I decided to test the sewing stapler and breathing otter at first. And on top of testing 2 products at once, he also said that I shouldn't post TikToks for 2 countries for both of the products. Meaning that I need to shoot every TikTok twice, edit them in different languages, and post them on 2 different phones.
Yeah, it's just very important that you just don't repost the same exact thing. You might get shadow banned, so you don't want to do that. There's some ways how to avoid it, but like generally speaking, you shouldn't refilm.
So weeks went by, I posted and posted and posted, and my content was actually gradually getting better since Jacob was reviewing my videos. But after putting out 2 to 3 videos a day for 2 countries, 3 social media platforms, and 2 products for over a month, I still didn't go viral even once. So I started to slowly lose the initial motivation and interest in work.
This is very normal. You basically start going hard, your motivation is peaking, it doesn't work, it drops. It only gets back up after it starts to work. But that period in between is the quitters period, okay? This is what we see where most people are quitting. After like a month or so of trying and not making it work, that's where it becomes the hardest. And this is just where you can actually see who's gonna make it in life and who's gonna just move on to other things, is just not ready yet or is never gonna be.
which led me to falling back into the rut. On top of that, at the same time, I felt very ill and didn't work for a whole week, which made me lose all the momentum I have built up during the past month. And one thing about this program is that they didn't just guide me and tell me what to do, but also asked me to fill in everything, and I mean everything, including walking the dog, eating and stuff like that, into my Google Calendar.
So this is something, if you don't do this, start doing it and it's going to change your life. It's very simple. You literally just start filling in what you do and what you plan on doing, and your life is going to be better. You're going to get more shit done, and also you're going to see the blank spaces in your life. You're going to see like, okay, wait, what the fuck did I do for these 30 minutes? Like, there's nothing in there. What did I do? And then you try to think back, and then you realize, okay, I was just chilling on Instagram or whatever it is. You're going to realize on how much time you're actually wasting. For us, it's impossible to tell you you're unproductive if we cannot prove it, right? So I don't know if you're productive or not. I just see, okay, you made these videos, whatever, and then you can tell me, yeah, it took me 3 hours per video, and that's why I just have 2 videos, and that's fine. Okay, cool. Let me see it in your calendar, and then we can see instantly what the issue is. Do you not shoot enough content? Do you not do enough product research? You do too much product research? Whatever it is, we just see and can tell you. It's very important to have this.
Go through and tell me exactly when I spent my time on the wrong things. So as soon as they saw that I started to work less again,
this is just ridiculous. Working for basically 3 hours? What is this? All this blank space, we literally don't know what's happening, and then you basically have shoot TikToks for like 2-3 hours, and that's basically it. But this is not how it should be. On a daily basis, you should be putting in what videos are you going to shoot for which product. It's not just like shoot content, that's it. It needs to be more specific, and also it needs to be more. Don't get me wrong, there's people who make it work with like 3 hours a day in a full-time job and children. If you look at the last few case studies, we had like people like Agam, he made like 150K with literally like 2-3 hours a day. But if you have more time, spend more time. You cannot just relax on the fact that other people are working for a few hours so you can do the same. This is not how it works. The only real reason to only work like 3 hours a day on your business, if you have a full-time job, children, wife, and all these things, sure. All right, I understand that it's actually stressful. But if you don't, no excuses.
it was a Monday, which is the day we have our weekly calls on, and I knew I screwed up, so I expected them to reasonably yell at me and give me a little pep talk on why it's important to do this work. So I joined the call and... Wait, who is this guy? That's right, it's Mikey again. The guy who connected me to Michael and gave me this opportunity.
How you doing, man?
It's like, bro.
It was at this moment that he knew. He up.
I just wanted him to feel so bad for this.
Why did you have to bring up Mikey? Imagine if you were looking up to a man for over a year and a half, following his every move, and he was even kind enough to connect you to his mentors, but the first time you got a chance to talk to him is when you're at one of your all-time lows, and your mentors are saying that you're not putting in any work, which basically means that you're just wasting the opportunity he provided you with. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. Jacob and Michael knew exactly what they were doing.
Only the real ones know what's in this box. If you know, comment below.
After that call, I also realized that from now on, not only just Michael and Jacob see what I'm lacking and procrastinating, but Mikey does too. And I could not let him down again. So I had to make some progress to not lose the mentorship and promise myself to reach a 1K day no matter what. Over the span of mere weeks, my calendar went from looking like this to this to this. I didn't feel like working.
Yeah, and then he actually started improving. We just needed to put enough pressure and enough like yelling at him that he actually is gonna do this. And he did. He did a really good job at some point. It just took a while.
But I had no choice now. I was working at home, in the car, and cutting through most of my classes in order to go to the library and work from there, as well as working on 90% of the classes that I didn't skip. And because of how many videos I was posting, I finally started to get sales and hit my first 1K day about 2 weeks later. Also, I don't know why, but Sydney Sweeney asked me out on a day and I grew to 6'5" overnight. Hold on. Yeah, none of that happened. Except for maybe this part. In reality, Sydney Sweeney still didn't reply to my DMs, and although I did get some semi-viral cheese roller videos here and there, I was still far from reaching my goal. But little did I know, I would actually reach it and make way more than that in just a shy of a month with my next product. This is me.
Like he sends me a video of like him like almost crying out of happiness after he actually reached the 1K day.
You're probably wondering why I'm so upset, but I'm actually not. In fact, these are tears of joy. I took this video the moment I realized that I'm sitting on a winning product, and I'm honestly still not sure how I sensed that, but something in my guts just told me that this is the product that will get me to a $1,000 day as soon as I got my first sale with it. Like I said before, I had to show a list of 50 to 100 products to my mentors every week so they can choose something for me to test. And this call was no different. Just like always, I showed them the product list, and one of the products they chose was this fidget toy blaster that looks like a strap. At first, I didn't even expect them to choose it, but Jacob definitely knows how to pick products better than me, so I just shut my brain off.
This product made so much money in total, like well over $1 million just in our program alone.
And ordered it. I also ordered some of its other variations in order to then convert my store to a niche store if the product does well. So as soon as I received the products 1 month later, I picked up my phone and started shooting TikToks literally whilst going back from the post office in which I picked them up. Because like I said before, I had to get to a 1K day as soon as possible to not get kicked out of the program. But I quickly realized that it's not going to be as simple as I thought. Both my Instagram and TikTok accounts got shadow banned immediately because the product looks like a firearm. For those of you who don't know, a shadow ban is when a platform flags your account and limits the amount of views you can get, or just doesn't show the videos to anyone, which makes it impossible to go viral. However, out of the 3 platforms I posted to, there was one that didn't flag me, and that was YouTube. After posting 5 videos on all 3 of these platforms, I got under 500 views on each TikTok and Reel.
Very important. Post everywhere. It just doesn't make sense to only post on TikTok, only post on Instagram. There's no differences. There you basically do the same thing. You just repost the same exact thing on all platforms every time you post. If you don't, you're losing all the money. You're just being lazy. And by the way, most of the money is made on Instagram and YouTube. It's not even TikTok. TikTok by itself died down massively since the whole TikTok shop thing happened because TikTok shop is so preferred by the algorithm. It's so much more difficult to go viral even with great content. Now, don't get me wrong, still post on TikTok, but it's just most likely gonna work for you on YouTube or Instagram.
Well, some of my shorts, which are the exact same videos, got over 10K views. So clearly it was worth focusing on shorts, and instead of battling Instagram and TikTok and trying to circumvent the algorithm, I decided to double down on YouTube and just post there, which is something I've never done before. And let's just say it paid off. At first, nothing really went viral. I was posting videos of all variations of the product I ordered.
It's also, by the way, a mistake. I didn't even know that he just didn't post anywhere else.
And getting around 10K views consistently, which is already way better than my previous products, but still not enough to get me any sales. I knew that this was a winning product because my mentors told me that some of their students were hitting consistent 1K days with it right now.
Consistent 10K days.
So the next day, I woke up earlier than usual and started to brainstorm viral video ideas. And that's when I realized that there used to be a TikTok account called The Drencher that was selling these water guns that looked like Glocks and was popping off back in spring 2023. And since the products are so similar, I decided to take inspiration from his older, already proven to work viral videos.
Very, very good. You just take proven concept from other videos and you think a little bit outside of the box and you think, okay, what other videos are similar to my product? How can I replicate that? Very, very smart.
Which will pretty much guarantee that my videos will go viral too. On top of that, none of my competitors figured this out yet, so if I copied his videos, everyone would think that I was the one who came up with them, which would ensure that they'll go viral and help me establish an original brand. But I had to be completely sure that my videos start to get views because the clock was ticking and I still haven't hit a 1K day. So instead of just replicating his videos with my product, I decided to go one step further and make his already good videos even better. And that's when I had the epiphany. Last summer, I used to run this product called the Cup, which is basically a portable and discreet Yodeland device that is disguised as a coffee cup. And the way I made it go viral is by taking it to places where it's not supposed to be, like a supermarket, my school, and even an Apple store, which raised a lot of questions from the viewers and once again boosted the engagement. And it finally hit me. What if I combine the perfect trait of not having any social anxiety, which I've built up while running the Cup and some of my other products, with the proven viral video format of the Drencher? It sounded like a perfect plan, so the next day I woke up bright and early.
What's about to happen is not advised by me, okay? This is not connected.
Took this toy to classes and took it out during a lesson for my next video.
Okay, so this is obviously a crazy thing to do. However, and this is something I noticed when I told this to a few people, every single American person went crazy after seeing this and they're like, oh my god, this is insane, you cannot do that, you're gonna get shot, you're gonna get arrested, all of these things. Everybody who's from Europe didn't really understand what the big problem is. It's just like, okay, it's a toy gun, obviously, so, you know, nothing is gonna happen. So overall, still, pretty dangerous thing to do. If something goes wrong, it can actually massively go wrong.
Now, like I said before, I got through most of my classes in favor of work, and that day was no exception. I decided to not waste any time and just leave right after that math lesson and get some clips of the product in a parking lot next to my school. So I hopped the fence and went to the spot, which just like I expected, there was no one there. So I didn't have to worry about anyone calling the police on me and just got to shooting right away. There was only one thing that I didn't take into account. See these buildings? There's also more of them to the left. I don't know why, but I was 100% sure that no one would be able to distinguish the product from up there. And I was wrong. After shooting for just under 10 minutes and already planning on leaving, I saw a cop car coming my way.
Out of the top 3 people who ran this product, 3 either got arrested or almost got arrested. This product is definitely pretty dangerous.
I instinctively hid the product behind my waist and desperately wished for that police car to turn away from me, since I knew that in 5 minutes from now, I'm most likely going to be sitting in the back of a police car trying to figure out how I'm going to explain all of this to my parents, which still didn't know anything about me taking this product to school. So I came up with the story that I found this parking lot online and it just really fits my video vibes, so I deliberately came here on a bus from a different city just to shoot some TikToks. I don't even know how, but they bought into that, and after some more talking and looking through my backpack, which once again didn't raise their suspicion, they let me go with a warning. After that, I edited the TikTok and was really confident that it would do good because I doubt that anyone has ever had to go through so much shit for some clips of their dropshipping product. So I posted it and started to wait for the results to come in. Days passed, I already customized every possible version of my future Bugatti and changed my Instagram bio to entrepreneur, but the video was still at the usual 10k views. To say that I was disappointed after putting all that work into this video would be one hell of an understatement. Luckily, at least I had a call with my mentors that day that would cheer me up. And I didn't tell them what I did yet, so they were a little surprised when they found out about it.
This one, like, I would not, the red one, whatever, I would not go outside.
What?
Oh my god, he took it out in school.
Nah, but this, I just, flashed it.
We literally were on this call. Jacob went crazy. To me, it didn't seem that insane, but maybe you Americans are not going to understand. But I'm sure people from Europe are not going to think it's completely insane. It's just a little crazy.
Yeah.
What the are you saying?
I'm not gonna be responsible if you don't show up to 5 calls in a row.
But the video just didn't want to go viral, so I decided to not linger on it and move on. On that call, I also told Jacob about the shadow bans on my Instagram and TikTok accounts, and he said that I actually should battle them and make new accounts. The good thing was that I didn't have to come up with new scripts, so I just reshot the same TikToks frame by frame and posted those. I also needed to post something on YouTube though, and since I only had 80 followers at the time, I decided to post the reshot TikToks to the same YouTube account that I posted identical videos to before. I posted every single one of them, including the new school video, which I didn't expect much from because it didn't go viral the first time. And initially, everything seemed normal. All the reposted videos got an average amount of views for the channel, so I just moved on and kept making more content. But a week after I posted the new school video, I noticed that for some reason it went from 10k to 40, and then to 50, 70, and even over 100,000 views. I was really surprised because I've never seen a video go viral a week after it's been posted, but I guess it's just how shorts work. The video kept going up and up and up, and so did my daily sales. And just around 3 days later, when the video was already at over 800k views, I hit my first $500 day, which felt insane because I was at school that day and kept getting the kachin notifications on classes. What I didn't realize though is that that was just the very beginning, because another 3 days later...
This is just the best. When something like this happens, your life actually changes. Now, are you going to be able to retire and basically chill after making $500? Obviously not. But it changes something in your head, which actually allows you to keep going for a while. The motivation boost you get from having a few really good days is just insane. Because when you experience it with your own eyes and you see, all right, I can make money with this, for sure, for a fact, everything changes and you start to actually see this even more as a full-time income thing, which you're not gonna stop doing until it works. And if you just get to this point, it's gonna be much easier from here because you're gonna have obviously another complete different set of problems now. But you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna have this thought in your head, I cannot go back to a job ever again. This is what I'm doing from now. I cannot do anything else. This is it. I literally just made a bunch of money online, not going the traditional route, and you just understand, all right, this is something I can do long term. If you had these moments where you're just chilling and all of a sudden sales come in and they just don't stop, and you make hundreds or even thousands of dollars in profit in a single day, you look at the job and you basically get your little income where it's $20, $30, $40 an hour, whatever. You get that and it just feels off. It just feels so wrong because it feels like the leverage you're getting on your hour is so low. Even though as an entrepreneur, if you have a business, first you don't get paid at all and then you get the payouts, it feels as if you made that money today. And that's why you want to keep going, and it just gets you to the next level.
After the video was already past 2 million views, I hit my first ever 1k day. This is it. I finally made it and I felt on top of the world.
And just imagine this happening to you when you're 16. Just think what it's gonna do with your brain if you see something like that as a kid.
Right here and right at that moment, nobody even knew that some 16-year-old that lives next door just made over $1,000 in revenue in one day. And about 4 consistent 1K days later, I hit an all-time high at $3,742.79 in one single day, which brought me to over $22,000 in revenue and $13,000 in profit in just 30 days. It got to a point where I even hit a couple of 1K days before waking up.
Now at that age, everything over 10K profit in a month is amazing. It just feels like so much money. Imagine you're 16 and you just made 13K in pure profit in one single month. It's crazy. Now the next challenge is not getting comfortable. And we see that all the time also with him. We just saw how after making all of this work, now it just started to drop down in motivation and he started chilling a little bit more again. His calendar sucks again. And the reason for that is that you feel like you made it. You feel like your bank is full of money and you basically already are rich. You're not at all. The real question is, how much in profit do you make per year on average? This year, 13K. Like, you cannot just take one good month and just duplicate it times 12 and that's what you make this year. No. You have to keep going to make that. If you didn't make real good money this year and last year, you shouldn't be chilling yet. You're not a millionaire. You don't have at least like a few $100,000 in your bank account. None of that. You don't have any safety nets. And it feels like a safety net if you make this money at your age, but it's not yet. In reality, it is not. And also, while it's up, if you just keep going, it's so much easier to make more money. To get from 20K to 40K is so much easier than getting from 0 to 20K. You just have to do more of what you're doing already and basically expand on the skill. But a lot of people don't because they start chilling.
So I kept posting videos and hitting high numbers. That week, I hit over $15,000 in revenue with over 60% profit margins, which brought me to over 9K in profit within 7 days. It was pretty stressful though, because I had over 400 unfulfilled orders at the time due to some supplier issues, which also made Shopify hold 20% of my revenue. But as soon as I resolved those problems and all orders got fulfilled, I finally started to really enjoy it. This kind of money felt absolutely ridiculous to me, and not just because I'm making it from thin air while sitting in my room and posting shorts without ever having to touch the products that I send out to the customers, but also because I'm just 16 years old and I still live with my parents, which means that I quite literally have no expenses and don't even know how to spend the money, aside from maybe investing in some meme coin rug pools and having Hank Schrader call Jacob a sussy baka.
Dean Norris here. Jacob Braden, you are the sassiest sussy baka I've ever met, alright? Probably just finished a work session or still working, so I hope this video will distract you from stress and fill you up with joy.
This product is still making me money to this day, and right now I have everything automated to the point where I only have to work like 2 to 3 hours a week in order to get 5K in profit out every month. But more on that in the next video.
Did you listen to what he just said? Let's listen to this again.
Right now I have everything automated to the point where I only have to work like 2 to 3 hours a week.
This is the lie, complete lie.
In order to get 5K in profit out every month. But more on that in the next video.
This is what I mean. I didn't even catch on to this watching this the first time. This is crazy. No, you don't have it automated fully and you can only work 2-3 hours a week. You have to still work on this as you didn't make anything. You don't have it automated, even though it helps you with getting like a few people on board to help you with your content, etc. It doesn't mean that you can chill. It just means that now you have more time to do even more content. So not at all.
Like I always say, TikTok organic dropshipping is real. And if I could make it while going to school every weekday, living in a small country and being underage, you definitely can too. And if you're interested in learning it, get a notepad and a pen and check out the case study about this story we shot with Michael. It's built a ton of value in there. And bye.
Okay, so I have to balance what I'm saying here. And I'm really proud of what he did. Honestly, I'm actually proud of what he did. But also at the same time, he doesn't get it yet. Like, he has a lot of weak spots. A lot. The main thing at this point is just chilling where you're not supposed to chill. This is something we're going to be hammering down on him in the next few months, I assume. It's definitely going to take some time until he understands it's not the time to chill whatsoever. And overall, what we did with him was 3 things. Number 1 is looking over the products he selected and telling him which ones are good, which ones are bad. Number 2 is looking over his content and explaining to him what's good and what's bad, how he needs to structure the videos, and he had a lot of flaws in the videos in the beginning, and we just improved a lot on that. And then number 3 is holding him accountable for actually doing more volume. If you have these 3 things, good products, good videos, volume, you make it work. No matter what. And if you also want that, if you want to have these 3 components in your life as well, what you can do is just click the link below, sign up for a call, and we're going to get you started right away.